so that the goals that you get, you're worthy of. So this little definition I'd like to have you make yours. And then when you achieve this, say, okay, now I'm going to write my own definition of success. All right? Now, as you notice, we have this word goals. The goals in your life are so important. That's why I want to start off with that in this session. As you see B, there are two types of goals. The first type of goal we label a short-term goal, as you see. And short-term goals are the rewards you give to you and your family for the job you're doing. The short-term goals are little things. They usually aren't huge things. It depends on where you're at today as far as what your short-term goals are. But they should be no longer than 90 days. That's about the longest you can stay focused on a short-term goal. I've done this with many of the people I've trained. One young man, he says, Tom, I'm doing exactly as you told me. I have a goal in 90 days to have enough money to make an investment in a new car. I said, I'm proud of you, guy. What kind? He said, well, I'm not sure. I think, I said, okay. What color? Gee, I'm not sure. What are all the options? He says, I don't know. I says, let's go for a ride. And I took him to a dealership. I says, you find the car, and we're going to take a picture of it. And we are going to see in your mind's eye the exact vehicle that you are going to have as a short-term goal. And this is what you need to do with goals. To visualize them, you must have pictures of them so that you can look at that picture. When I went to my first seminar when I was just a kid, the man said, get a picture of your goal. And I said, I want to take a cruise. And then I went and got a picture from the travel agency of the ship. And I got a picture of the itinerary of the ship. And I just put it on the wall. Now, it didn't happen overnight, but eventually I took a cruise. My first one was to Alaska. And I had all the pictures of Alaska. This is what you need to do in short-term goals. You must visualize them. And try to set it no longer than 90 days. So minimum, you got 4 a year. Some of them can be 30-day goals. You need to sit down and say, how long will it take me to achieve this short-term goal? Then, of course, it should be better than your best. Notice that? But it's got to be believable, you see. If right now you got all excited with the program today and you went home tonight and said, well, let's see, I'm driving a $28,000 Toyota. I think I'm going to get a picture of a Rolls Royce for $350,000, and that's my goal in 90 days. Not believable. It must be better than your best. See, if it's not better than what you already have, you don't have a goal. I mean, it's like saying, I'm going to get a worse car this year. It's got to be better than your best, but then it's got to be believable, that you can really believe you're worthy of that goal. It also, B, should be clearly defined. Clearly defined. Now, there's a little saying I was given years ago, to be terrific, you must be specific. If you have nebulous goals, you'll have nebulous results. It's like the person who says, my goal is to be rich. That's not enough. You got to know exactly how much that will be at a given date and time. Because rich is dependent upon your self-image and self-esteem, and it's different for a lot of folks. So I want you to really keep in mind, we have to clearly define our goals. Now let me give you an example of this. We're in a building, a nice building, and this building came from a person's mind, and then it was put to paper, and then from the architectural rendering, it was then built. But no building is built unless they have a blueprint. Now, the average person doesn't have a blueprint for their life. It's kind of like, I want to have a lot, but I don't know what I want. You've got to articulate now. So I'd like you to write next to the words clearly defined, would you write, I must create a life's blueprint.